Chosen one, stop scrolling. If you're hearing this, it's not by accident. Your soul dragged you here. In the next 72 hours, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, you're stepping into the most dangerous spiritual test of your entire life. And here's the scary part. 97% of those who think they're chosen will fail it without ever knowing. But you're different. You're about to find out why your own body has been working against your spirit, and how to turn that raw sexual energy into the most lethal spiritual weapon you've ever carried. The enemy's strategy I reveal. Listen carefully. That burning sensation in your chest right now, that restlessness in your body, it's not random. For the past 3 weeks, you've been under targeted spiritual attack, and the weapon being used against you is your own sexual energy. Here's what they don't want you to know. Sexual energy is creation energy. It's the same force that creates life, builds empires, and shifts timelines. When you waste it on temporary pleasure, you're literally giving away your power to create your destiny. You've noticed it, haven't you? How after you give in to those urges, your dreams become foggy, your intuition gets quieter, your prayers feel like they're hitting the ceiling instead of reaching heaven. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual warfare. The hidden truth about July 1st to 3rd. These 3 days aren't random dates I picked from a calendar. In the spiritual world, these 72 hours represent what ancient mystics called the triple gateway, when the veil between dimensions is thinnest, and your spiritual gifts are either amplified or completely blocked based on one thing: how you handle your sexual energy. Why you're really being tested. Do you want to know why this feels so intense right now? It's because you're not fighting an ordinary battle. You're in what I call the graduation test. Think about it like this. A university doesn't give the hardest exams to failing students. They give them to the ones who are ready to graduate. The intensity of your struggle isn't proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're about to level up in ways that will terrify the forces trying to keep you small. But here's the part that breaks my heart. I've watched thousands of chosen ones fail this test. Not because they weren't strong enough, but because no one ever taught them the rules of the game. The 3 waves of ATT. Over these 72 hours, you'll face exactly 3 waves of temptation. And each one is designed to target a different part of your spiritual armor. Wave 1, the memory attack, hours 1 to 24. Old desires will resurface. Past connections will reach out. Your mind will replay every moment of pleasure you've ever experienced. This isn't nostalgia. It's spiritual programming designed to pull you backward. Wave 2, the isolation attack, hours 25 to 48. You'll feel alone, misunderstood, like no one gets your struggle. The enemy will whisper, "Just this once won't matter. No one will know." This is when most people fall. Wave 3, the desperation attack, hours 49 to 72. Physical sensations will intensify. Your body will feel like it's on fire. This is the final test, when your spirit must completely overrule your flesh. The secret they've been hiding from you. Now I'm going to tell you something that will change how you see this entire battle. Ready? Your sexual energy isn't your enemy. It's your greatest spiritual asset being hijacked. Let me explain what I mean. In ancient spiritual traditions, they understood that sexual energy, when properly directed, becomes what they called divine fire. It's the same energy that gives prophets their visions, healers their power, and leaders their magnetic presence. But here's the key. It can only flow upward when it's not flowing outward. I learned this the hard way. 3 years ago, I was exactly where you are now. Struggling with the same battles, feeling like my spirit was at war with my body. I tried everything: cold showers, prayer, fasting, accountability partners. Nothing worked long term. Then I met an old monk who taught me something that changed everything. He said, "You're trying to kill the dragon instead of learning to ride it." The dragon riding TC Henaikyui. Here's what he meant. When that sexual energy rises, and it will over the next 72 hours, instead of fighting it or giving into it, you redirect it. The moment you feel that familiar stirring, take 3 deep breaths and visualize that energy as golden light moving up your spine to your heart, then to your mind. Feel it transforming from physical craving into spiritual power. This isn't just visualization, it's energy alchemy. And when you master this, something extraordinary happens. You don't just resist temptation, you transform it into spiritual fuel, the pain behind the PTT urn. But let's be real for a moment. I know why this is so hard for you. It's not just about physical desire, it's about what that desire represents. When you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., wrestling with thoughts you wish you didn't have, it's not really about sex. It's about connection. It's about feeling worthy of love. It's about proving to yourself that you're desirable, that you matter, that you exist. I see you scrolling through your phone, looking for something to fill the void. I see you in your room, fighting battles that no one else knows about. And I want you to know, your struggle is sacred. It's not shameful, it's sacred. Because only the chosen ones feel this intensity. Regular people don't wrestle with angels. In the night, they don't feel the weight of destiny on their shoulders. They don't carry the burden of knowing they're meant for something greater. The loneliness of the CHOSC in this is the part no one talks about, how isolating it is to be chosen. You can't relate to most people's casual approach to sexuality. You can't just hook up or have fun because you feel everything deeper. When others see physical pleasure, you see spiritual contracts. When they see temporary fun, you see eternal consequences. This isn't mental illness, it's spiritual sensitivity. And that sensitivity? That's your superpower. But like any superpower, it needs to be trained, directed, and mastered. The 72-hour spiritual boot camp. I'm going to give you the exact framework I use with my private coaching clients, the ones who pay $5,000 just to learn this system. But today, I'm sharing it free because I believe you're ready. Phase 1. Preparation, hours before July 1st. First, you need to understand what you're preparing for. This isn't about white-knuckling through 72 hours. This is about emerging as a completely different person. The environment audit. Look around your space right now. What triggers are you living with? That poster, that app, that subscription. They all have to go. Not forever, but for these 72 hours you're creating sacred space. The energy inventory. Make a list of everything that drains your spiritual energy versus what fills it. For the next 72 hours, you only engage with energy-giving activities. The support system. You need at least one person who knows what you're doing. Not someone to police you, but someone to remind you who you're becoming. Phase 2, the active period, July 1st to 3rd. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think this is about suffering through urges. It's not. It's about redirecting power. Morning protocol, 6:12 p.m. Start each day with 10 minutes of deep breathing. Set 3 intentions for the day that align with your higher purpose. Engage in physical activity that moves energy up. Not out. Afternoon protocol, 1:26 p.m. This is when the first wave typically hits. Use the dragon writing technique I taught you earlier. Focus on creation. Write, build, design. Something that uses that creative energy. Evening protocol, 6:12 a.m. Journal about what you experienced during the day. Practice gratitude for your spiritual sensitivity. End with prayer or meditation. Night protocol, 1:26 a.m. If you wake up with urges, don't fight them, transform them. Use the energy for late night visioning or planning your future. Remember, 3 a.m. is the hour of miracles, not mistakes. The ancient mystery schools, new teachayas. What I'm teaching you isn't new. For thousands of years, mystery schools and spiritual traditions have understood the connection between sexual energy and spiritual power. The Knights Templar practiced sexual transmutation. Buddhist monks call it inner fire meditation. Hindu traditions speak of Kundalini energy. Even Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness, mastering his physical desires before beginning his ministry. Why? Because they understood the secret. Your sexual energy is your life force energy. When you learn to direct it consciously instead of releasing it unconsciously, you tap into the same power source that creates worlds. Modern science is finally catching up. Studies show that sexual energy retention increases testosterone, growth, hormone, and neuroplasticity. But that's just the physical level. On the spiritual level, it increases intuition, manifestation ability, and what researchers call non-local consciousness, your ability to perceive beyond the five senses. The chakra sionanisik tiaun hears something most spiritual teachers won't tell you. Your sexual energy originates in your root chakra, but it's meant to flow to your crown chakra. When you release it prematurely, you're short-circuiting your own spiritual evolution. Think of it like this. You have a spiritual battery that charges through sexual energy retention. Every time you give in to lower desires, you're unplugging from the cosmic power source. But when you learn to let that energy build and rise through your system, you become a walking generator of spiritual power. But what if I've already failed before? I hear this question all the time. I've tried this before and always fail. What makes this time different? Here's the truth. You haven't failed. You've been practicing. Every time you resisted for 5 minutes instead of 2, you got stronger. Every time you chose prayer over pornography, even if you gave in later, you built spiritual muscle. This time is different because now you have the framework. You're not just white-knuckling anymore, you're energy transmuting. But what about natural desires? Another common concern. Isn't sexual desire natural? Am I supposed to suppress it forever? Listen carefully. I'm not teaching suppression. I'm teaching transformation. There's a massive difference. Suppression is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it explodes upward with twice the force. Transformation is like turning water into steam. Same substance, higher form. When I first learned this, I thought I was supposed to become a monk. I tried to kill every sexual thought, every attraction, every physical response. It nearly drove me crazy. Then I realized the goal isn't to become sexless. The goal is to become sexually empowered. To choose when, how, and with whom you share that energy instead of being controlled by it. What if the urges get too strong? Here's your emergency protocol for when the energy feels overwhelming. The ice bath technique. Not literally, unless you have one. But visualize your entire body surrounded by cooling blue light, the power redirect. Ask yourself, what could I create with this energy instead? Then go create it. The future self conversation. Imagine yourself 5 years from now thanking you for this moment of strength. WHA happens when you winnow. Let me paint you a picture of what life looks like on the other side of this test. Because this isn't just about surviving 72 hours. This is about awakening to your true power. The immediate changes. Days 1 to 7. Your dreams become vivid and prophetic. Your intuition sharpens dramatically. People start responding to you differently. You carry a different energy. Your prayers feel like conversations instead of monologues. The medium-term changes, weeks 2 to 8. Opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. Your creative abilities explode. You attract higher quality relationships. Your manifestation speed increases dramatically. The long-term changes, months 3 to 12. You step into natural leadership roles. Your life purpose becomes crystal clear. You develop what others call magnetic presence. You become a source of inspiration for others. I have a client, let's call him David, who was struggling with the same battle you're facing. He was 28, successful on paper, but felt spiritually empty. His relationships were shallow, his dreams were foggy, and he felt like he was living someone else's life. After mastering his sexual energy using this exact system, everything changed. Within 3 months, he started a business that now generates 7 figures. Within 6 months, he met the woman who became his wife. Within a year, he was leading a men's group, helping other chosen ones master their energy. The difference? He learned to ride the dragon instead of being consumed by it. The ripple effect. Here's what really gets me excited. When you master this, you don't just change your own life. You change every life you touch. Your children, current or future, will inherit your spiritual strength. Your partner will experience love from someone who isn't controlled by lust. Your friends will see what's possible when someone lives from their higher self. You become living proof that humans can evolve beyond their base instincts. And in a world that's drowning in sexual dysfunction and spiritual emptiness, that makes you a beacon of hope. Why this matters more than ever, we're living in what I call the Great Spiritual War. On one side, you have forces trying to keep humanity trapped in lower consciousness through instant gratification, mindless consumption, and spiritual amnesia. On the other side, you have awakening souls like yourself who are remembering their true power and refusing to stay small. Your sexual energy mastery isn't just personal development, it's an active spiritual rebellion. Every time you choose transformation over temporary pleasure, you're voting for the future of human consciousness, the collective. Awakening. Think about it. What would happen if even 1% of humanity learned to master their sexual energy? What kind of world would we create if people stopped being driven by unconscious urges and started living from conscious choice? We'd have leaders who make decisions from wisdom, not ego. We'd have relationships based on love, not need. We'd have a society focused on creation, not consumption. And it starts with you. In your room, in your private moments, in your choice to transform fire into light instead of letting it burn you down. The lineage of the Awakened. You're not just developing self-control. You're joining an ancient lineage of awakened beings who understood that spiritual power and sexual mastery are inseparably connected. Every prophet, every mystic, every great spiritual teacher throughout history had to pass this test. And now it's your turn to join their ranks. Your moment of choice. We've reached the moment of truth. You now know what the test is. You know why it matters. You have the tools to pass it. The only question remaining is, will you? I want you to understand something. This video will be here tomorrow, but this opportunity won't be. The energy that brought you here, the readiness in your spirit, the cosmic timing, it's all aligned right now for your breakthrough. The commitment if you're ready to join the ranks of the sexually empowered and spiritually awakened. I want you to do something right now. Stand up. Yes, literally stand up. Place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That's the heart of a chosen one. Now say out loud, I choose transformation over temptation. I choose creation over consumption. I choose my destiny over my desires. Did you feel that shift? That's your higher self taking the wheel. The accountability year before we finish. I need you to find someone who will walk this path with you. Not someone to judge you, but someone to remind you who you're becoming when you forget. Text them right now. Tell them you're doing something important for the next 72 hours, and you need their support. Don't explain everything, just ask them to check in with you each day. In the comments below, I want you to write 3 words. I am ready. That's your public declaration. That's you drawing a line in the sand. That's you telling the universe and yourself that you're done playing small. And if you found value in this message, hit that like button to seal your commitment. Subscribe and ring the notification bell, because this is just the beginning of your awakening journey. Before I let you go, I need to share one final truth. You already have everything you need to pass this test. The power isn't in some technique or secret knowledge, it's in you. It always has been. The only difference between the person you are now and the person you're becoming is 72 hours of conscious choice. You've been preparing for this moment your entire life. Every struggle, every failure, every moment of doubt has been training for this test. And I believe in you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're chosen. And the chosen always find a way to rise. Your 72-hour countdown starts anew. The clock is ticking. July 1st is approaching. Your destiny is waiting. Will you answer the call? Will you join the ranks of the awakened? Will you finally master the fire that's been burning inside you? The choice is yours, but choose quickly. Time is running out, and your future self is counting on the decision you make in this moment. Remember, you didn't find this video. This video found you. And that's not an accident. Now go become who you were born to be. Subscribe. For more awakening content, comment "I am ready" to join the challenge. Share this video with another chosen one.